chapter 1. No, I went the wrong way. And because they did not think it worthwhile to acknowledge God, King David said, because they refused to acknowledge God, keep him in their memory, God delivered them over to a worthless mind to do what is morally wrong. They are all filled with unrighteousness, evil, greed, and wickedness. They are full of envy, murder, quarrels, deceit, malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God-haters, arrogant, proud, boastful, inventor of evil, disobedient to parents, undiscerning, untrustworthy, unloving, and unmerciful. Folks, what we see here is him telling us the nature of the people of that day. Now, if you tell me that America has not degenerated into something like this, one of the two of us is wrong.
Well, don't you think the sin that came over into the new generation from after the world was destroyed, because it says Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people, and he followed God. Then he just named his sons. They didn't.
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
And you know why? Because there's this idea in America today, parents say, well, I'm not going to tell my children about religious things. I'm going to let them decide on their own. There is a Greek word for that translates the exact same thing in Hebrew. It translates in French, German, and Spanish for the same thing. It's called stupid. If you put a plate of cookies on the table, and then you put a broccoli salad on there, which are the children usually going to gravitate to? Only few children will go to that broccoli salad. Most of them are going to go to that, and you're going to let them choose their destination and through this life on their own when they couldn't even choose something healthy over something unhealthy. Folks, we need to understand this is what's going on in the world, and it's destroying our lives. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 20. Who in the past, he's talking about those of us who in the past were disobedient, when God patiently waited in the days of Noah while the ark was being prepared, and in it few, that is 8 people, were saved through water. 120 years. That's how long it took for the ark to be built. From the time God gave Noah the instruction to the time that the waters came was 120 years. And yet, in 120 years, the constant preaching of Noah, the constant telling that God is going to send the flood, people had no idea what an ark was. They had no idea what rain was because it hadn't rained on the earth, because it was watered through the dew. And 120 years, not one single person says, you know what, maybe this God thing is right. Maybe the way I'm living is not correct. I guarantee you, if somebody had to come up and said, I want your God, Noah, God would have kicked something off the ark to make room for him, and I would hope that it would have been mosquitoes. But folks, know this. In those days, they had the opportunity. We as Americans have an opportunity to do something about the way our country is doing, but we are not guaranteed 120 years. We're not guaranteed that we will have tomorrow if we don't do something today. Those who were disobedient long ago, they waited patiently while Noah was building the ark. 120 years of opportunity. How long have we had this thing moving in America? And do you know what it's all based on? Lack of love and hatred. First, we hated the black man because they were supposed to be our slaves. And when they were freed, they rose up and said, we will not be slaves. We never loved them. And why? Because we thought we were better than them. Then it was the immigrants from other nations. Well, we don't like them because they're not like us. We hate everybody who's different from us. And when I say we, I'm talking empirically as we as American people as a whole. Just like Isaiah said, I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. We as a nation have become so bitter, we're so full of hate and so short on love that this is why these things are happening. All these verses focus on one thing, and that's how we're supposed to think about sin. You might ask the question, is it as bad as all that? Is sin really all that bad? I want you to understand and listen. Sin will never be commuted because of popular opinion. It will never be less sin because people enjoy it. We may say it's not a sin anymore to do this. Did you know And if you had to have this experience or been involved in this, my heart goes out to you. But people talk about the violent deaths in America. The number of people who are going to be killed in America this year, as terrible as it is by violent crimes, most of us, black on black or white on white or black on white or white on black, most of it is revolves around hate. Understand this. It will be a small number compared to the unborn babies who are going to be murdered in their mother's womb this year. Because we've made convenience the law. Folks, we need to understand that. Sin has not been commuted because popular opinion says it's okay. And it has been said that nobody can legislate morality. That's right, but you can't legislate immorality in the court of heaven. The people in this world may say, oh, it's okay to do all this because the government says it or somebody says it. But when we stand before God, every one of us are going to give an account of the things that we did in the flesh. And if it's not covered by the blood of Jesus, folks, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.